Day 7. What have we got this time? So we're on to day 7. We had a bit of a hiccup yesterday with wiring stuff up. I'll show how to fix that. But number 7, what we've got in here, we have a bag that's already open. Something in there. Some more wires. Oh, what's inside this one? I have to tear to get in. We have something. I do not have any idea on what that is. Is it another light sensor thing? Is it a microphone? Is it an LED of some sort? It's got 3 pins on it. Anyway, we'll find out in a little bit. What we're first going to do is point out my error from yesterday. The yellow wire should have been in J10, not J9. And that's it, really. That was the problem. I hadn't plugged it into the correct one. Luckily, I haven't blown anything. But what was wrong was that it wasn't finding it from the correct pin. So shifting it across by 1 pin makes it work. So we'll just prove that though with yesterday's code. Sorry for the mess up, it's my fault entirely. We run it and we see the values jump to quite something already. I can put my hand over it. That makes it go lower down because it's not getting so much light from the rest of the room. And I can finally shine my phone's torch at it, flashlight at it. There we go, straight up to 95, 96. Can I get even brighter? 96.6 it seems to be the highest. The point is, it now works and it was all my fault, nobody else's. So hopefully you fixed that all by yourself yesterday anyway. But let's get on with today's. So I shall mess around and get the new web page up, so watch out for the fade. So we've definitely got a setup now from working from yesterday, so everything should be fine for the rest of it. Definitely unplugged the USB so we don't blow anything. Let's get on with what it's asking us to do today. Monitoring motion. Oh, it's a motion detector. That's what that thing is. It's a motion detector. Should have thought of that really. Welcome to day 7 of your 12 projects of Codemas Advent Calendar. Today we're going to be using a sensor that detects motion, allowing our Pico to react to things like people and animals when they are near our project. This is a digital sensor giving a high signal if movement is detected. We can code this in a similar way to the buttons of day number 3 as a trigger for our program. Let's go! So we go a mini PIR sensor and 3 male-to-male jumper wires. Today's project. The sensor in our kit is a PIR sensor, which stands for passive infrared. Passive infrared sensors detect movement by heat energy. Oh, I have energy. Ooh. Infrared radiation given off by humans or animals. It won't work on a snowman. Anyway. These sensors are commonly used in home alarm systems. If your home has an alarm, have a look in the corners of the ceilings and you may see something similar. Today we're going to be setting up our motion sensor that's testing it by moving our bodies. Then, similar to some of the previous boxes, we'll combine this with other components to create fun little projects, including our own little alarm system with a new function to learn. Construct the circuit. You know how it starts. Unplug your Pico from the USB port on your computer. We've done that. Right. Now remove the light sensor parts from yesterday's, leaving the LEDs and buzzer in place with the Pico on the main breadboard. Your circuit should look something like this. Starting like this. Right. So we carefully unplug how I messed up yesterday. So we need to move this red wire, this yellow wire, and then this black wire, and move that to the side. Now our geomotion sensor. Just to note, the diagrams below also use a generic motion sensor part from fritzing, and they're currently no part for the mini version in your box. The wiring is the same. Please hold the sensor at the edges of the green PCB when fitting it, as it's a delicate component. Okay, because basically it looks like if you push down that way, it might go ding, and you bent it in half, because it's just got 3 legs, it seems. But yeah, if you could easily bend this out of shape and snap it, so be very careful with it. That's what they're saying, but just looking at it, you can tell it's a delicate bit of kit. Right, important sensor orientation. The orientation of the PIR pins is very important. Please see the image below in the orientation of the angled pins, showing you which side is 3.3 volts and which is ground. Middle pin is our GPIO pin. Okay, so we need it so that the pins are facing us compared to the circuit board. Okay, right. I'll not zoom in, you're clever enough to figure that one out. I'll just pull out all the bits from yesterday, and we're going to stick it on the edge, roughly in the middle, and there we go. So yeah, you want it that the pins are facing you as they go down into the board. Right, now fit the PIR to the top of the mini board, and the orientation shown in the image above, with the 3.3 volt pin to the left, as shown below. Okay, that was easy enough. They're classing it as being red, yellow, and black there. Now connect the 3 pins to your circuit board using jumper wires. Connect the left pin to pin 36, the right pin to ground lane, and connect the middle pin to GPIO 26, which is up pin 31. It should like this. Okay, let's try to do this properly today, because it was my fault yesterday. So let's get a black wire. Let's start with the left pin. Actually, we'll start off with a red wire. I want this to the side, it seems. I don't think it really matters, but we're just going to put it there for now, in line with the left pin. I need to go to pin 36, which is, if I can count properly this time, 40, 39, 38, 37, 36. And put that one up there. I'll get a yellow wire, since that's what we've got. Open the middle pin, and that should go across to pin 31. So if we've got 36, counting again to make sure, 40, 39, 38, 37, 36, 35, 34, 33, 32, 31. So back to there again. So it's just like what we did yesterday, but now I've got on the correct pins. The red wire should be into J5, and the yellow wire should be in J10. They are correct today. Let's get the black wire, and that should go from the rightmost pin of the motion detector, and that should be put onto the blue line at the bottom there. There we go. Swinging around a little bit, but it's working. It's wired up correctly. So let's move down. Activity number 1, basic motion sensing. Let's get this sensor up and running with a minimal starter program. The code example below uses things we've covered in previous boxes, so you should be quite comfortable with how it works. The code, as always, we add our inputs and then set up the GPIO pin for the sensor. We're using a pull down here to ensure the sensor is low unless triggered, because we don't want the pin floating between the two, as we've covered in day 3. Something different you'll spot next to where we wait for the sensors. The settle is a warm-up before jumping into our while loop. This is a good practice with PIHut sensors, especially if you have a project designed to run as soon as the microcontroller turns on. It gives the sensor a chance to baseline surroundings before trying to detect changes. Some more advanced sensors even perform initial self-testing, which can take a minute or two. We allow 10 seconds, which seems to be enough for this sensor. Now we use a while loop to check for the high signal of the PIHut sensor, which then prints "I see you," waits 5 seconds, then continues to loop again. Copy it over to Thonit and give it a whirl. We'll find that if you sit perfectly still, then wave your hands around, it should be able to test the program without having to leave the room. Okay, so first things first. Let's plug everything back in again. Press stop. Get rid of yesterday's code. Start a new one. Copy this. And I'll say it yet again, like I always do. I recommend you actually type all this out, not just cutting and pasting, so you can learn how to do things. Right, so there's our 10-second delay when it first turns on. The sensor is supposed to be ready. We'll even print that. And then run forever, checking to see. So I'm going to press run and try to stay still, and then I'll wave my hand around in front of it for you to see as well and see what happens. Okay. Quiet. Oh, so quiet. Nothing to do with volume, it's just movement. So the sensor should be ready, and now I should be able to go. It sees me. Wait 5 seconds. Oh, it saw me again, but I'll stay still. As you saw, you can see shadows in the video. It doesn't really take very much to set it off, actually. It saw me. So it works. Let's stop it. Activity number 2, motion alarm. This is a great project for motion sensors, especially if you have a pesky siblings who keep borrowing things from your room. We can use our PIHut sensor to trigger our buzzer and LEDs, making our unwelcome guests jump and hopefully scare them off. Yes, that'd be good. Not that I have that problem anymore, but I can see that it come in handy for some people. Right, the example below adds our LEDs and buzzers back in, so we define these pins again ready to be used. We also don't want you forgetting how to make functions, which was covered in day 5 with the buzzer. So you'll notice that we've made a function called alarm, which we'll call whenever we want to trigger the LEDs and the buzzer. A function wasn't strictly necessary here, but it's good practice. The function makes our LEDs and buzzer sound light exactly 5 times, but we're not using a counter this time. Instead, we're going to be introduce a range function. The range function is really handy when you want to repeat something a certain number of times. Let's say we wanted to print not another function 20 times. Well, we could add 20 lines of print, or we can run a counter adding 1 to each time, but another nicer, shorter way to do this is to use a range, and this is how it would look. For I in range 20, print not another function. So basically it does the counting all by itself. Don't get hung up on why it's an I is an I. Change it to a T or a V and see what happens. It's the same outcome. Traditionally, the I was always used, and most programmers to stick with that. Consider that the I means iteration or index, and it starts to make more sense. For every iteration with a range of 20, does it make sense? We didn't introduce this earlier when we used counters, and we use counters instead, as we think the range function can be a little more intimidating to new coders. You can also add values within the brackets to set the range of steps, but we'll stick to that simple usage for now. We turn the buzzer volume up before the range function, and we turn it back down afterwards. Notice the placement and indentation of these lines, keeping them out of the range function. We also have a line to start a program to make the buzzer is always off when we begin. Okay, now that we understand what range does, copy the code below over to Thonit, run it, and see very still, or leave the room for 20 seconds. When you come back in, you should set off the alarm. Oh, 20 seconds we've got to wait, have we? That's a bit of a long time. But okay, you're going to have to sit with me for 20 seconds. And stay still. Don't set it off. Right. I'll close this down. Ooh. Start a new one. Oh, there we go. Oh, I've got two of them, haven't I? There we go. Copy the code. Where's the code copying bit? There we go. Paste. Where's the bit that says 20 seconds? So there's all the pins and everything else that we've set up. Sleep for 10. It says 20 seconds, but I think 10 seconds should be enough. I'll just stay still like I did last time. So here goes. 1 potato, 2 potato, 3 potato, 4, 5 potato, 6 potato, 7 potato, more, 8 potato, 9 potato, 10 potato. Oh. Stay still. He's staying still. Let's move. Oh no! I've been found. Staying still now. See if it shuts off. Staying still. Oh! Oh no! Shut up! Right. That works. Just left the lights on, but it works. I'm just going to unplug it back in again, so that everything's off, ready for the next one. So that was nice. That worked. We could scare people off with that. And that's it. Day 7 complete. Dear me. Fine. That was some interesting code for the day. That got working nicely. Right, so day 7 is complete. The last activity included a lot of detail, so we're going to leave it there for today and not overload your fresh coder brains. Are you getting a headache yet? The PIHut sensor can be so much fun to use and come in different shapes and sizes. You'll be making your own home security system in no time. So what did we do on day 7? Today you have built a circuit with a PIHut sensor, learned how to use a PIHut sensor with the MicroPython and the Pico, created a mini alarm system, learned how the range function, and revisited functions. I will, as always, keep your circuit safe and somewhere until tomorrow. Don't take anything apart just yet, and we'll see you after breakfast and lunch and probably tea. But anyway, what we're going to be doing is going down into the description, check out the links for my Patreon and my Discord. Click the links to the like, the subscribe, and the notification bell to find out what happens tomorrow. But as always, happy gaming.